going to show how to make a couple of photographic snoots for the CNC YSD1 strobe and the Underwater Kinetics Aqualite. There's the Aqualite and the CNC YSD1. To start with the Aqualite, I went to Home Depot and I found a reducer. I believe it's 1.5 to 1.25 inches, and it's just a PVC standard plumbing item. Has to be pretty standard if Home Depot carries it. I got an 1.5 inch piece of ABS pipe, and it fits inside the 1.5 inch size. And then I got an 1.5 inch cap for the ABS, and that fits over here. So it makes a nice tight fit. And it just happens that this particular diameter fits very well over the Aqualite with a little O-ring, and the O-ring makes the seal. So only have to jiggle it a little bit. And just for added security, so that when you're in the water and it doesn't come out, I tapped a couple of holes with nylon thumb screws so that I can actually tighten these things down, and it'll hopefully prevent them from coming off in the water. The important thing is that this that the holes, or I should say that the plastic, the PVC, is thick enough so that you can actually tap it and it'll hold threads. There we go. It seems to hold pretty sturdily anyway. And then with the 5/8 bit, twist bit, I drilled a hole in dead center, and you can see how thick the walls of the PVC are at that point. And then with the tap, I was able to set threads. And when I'm making the threads, I use the wrench to turn the tap. I don't bother with a tap handle. The result that I'm looking for looks like this. This is LOC line with almost a 3/8 nozzle on it, and the connector is a 5/8. Now, if you buy the what do you call it, a sample kit, it comes with two 6-inch long pieces of LOC plus all of these extra attachments. This is a 1/2 inch pipe thread connector, and then you've got a variety of different nozzles that you can use if you've got different size fiber optics. The fiber optics that I use are called end glow fiber optics. You have to specify that because it comes in different dimensions and also different number of fibers, and I'll include a list of parts so that you know exactly what it is that I've been using, but there are other alternatives. And the fiber optic material just slides inside the sheath, the plastic sheath here, pretty easily. When I'm assembling this thing, put the stuff out of the way. I take the parts that I'm going to use. This is the smaller adapter for the head of the strobe, and then I like the large end for the nozzle, and you can connect that just directly using these special pliers that again, it's an additional cost. You have to buy them. and they just connect like this. The interesting thing about this LOC line, apparently it's both gas and fluid impermeable, so that it seals pretty well. And then I can just run the fiber optics out the other end. You can see how this comes out. And then I can just drop it back to where it's just right at the end of the nozzle. This end now must go into there we go. Twisting, turning, till I get enough of it sticking out so I can grasp it and then pull it up. And at the same time I want to make certain that it stays pretty close to the end there. So I want it right there at the end. And then I can connect these. Yep. There. Now on this end I want enough of the pieces of fiber to extend beyond so that when it is mounted on the cap, as you can see in here, you want the fiber actually extending past the end of the sheathing and past the end of the fitting as well. And now I can just tighten this down. Alright. And the other one that I've already made up, I can join in here. And now, mounting it on the YSD1, because the YSD1 it doesn't have an exactly circular lens end, I found that this 2-inch drain cap, the PVC drain cap from Hydroscape, works really, really well. And then again, I've added a couple of thumb screws so I can tighten them down and make it a little bit more secure, although there's really nothing for the thumb screws to push up against except the Lexan housing on the YSD1, just held in place and it's just held friction alone. I suppose I'm going to have to figure out some way of connecting a lanyard to it so if it does slide off it's not going to disappear. And here are the different ways to mount it. I have two, so one that I can use on the YSD1. Sorry, the pair that I can wear on the YSD1, and one of them I could mount on the Aqualite. It works pretty well.